Hi, I'm Chelsea from Ohm, and we're going to go through a crow pose Hatha class. So we'll meet on the backs. So we'll meet on the backs. Soles of the feet are together, knees are splayed wide apart. Arms will come to a field goal or a cactus, so your arms are bent at about 90 degrees. Palms face up towards the ceiling. We'll take a moment here to start to build our breath, taking long, deep inhales in through the nose. Long, strong exhales back out through the nose. And take an inhale here. Maybe you move your feet just a little further apart. And then as you exhale, start to think about bringing the knees in towards each other. We'll inhale, start to let the knees fall just a little bit wider apart here, not letting them come all the way down towards the mat. And then as you exhale, start to bring them in towards each other once again. One more time, we'll inhale to open the knees up. And then exhale to bring them back in towards each other, this time planting the soles of the feet down on the floor. Maybe you walk your feet just a little further apart and let your knees fall in towards each other. And when you're ready, we'll extend the arms straight up towards the ceiling, pressing out through your palms, spreading out through all 10 fingers. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, press your shoulder blades down to the mat behind you. And then as you exhale, press your hands up towards the ceiling, press your shoulders forwards. We'll inhale to draw the shoulder blades back. And exhale to press the hands up towards the ceiling. Inhale to draw the shoulder blades back. Exhale to press forwards. We'll inhale to draw the shoulder blades back. From here, we'll exhale to draw one knee and then the other in towards the chest, rocking a little bit from side to side. We'll come into a couple rounds of crow pose on the back. So keeping your knees in towards your body, really draw your inner thighs in towards each other. Maybe you point the toes. Arms extend straight back up towards the ceiling, pressing out through the heels of your hands, pulling the fingers out wide, drawing the shoulders back away from the ears. Take an inhale just like this. And then as you exhale, press your palms up towards the ceiling, draw your knees in towards your elbows or triceps. We'll inhale to lower back down. And then exhale, start to raise back up. Inhale as you lower back down. Exhale to raise back up. We'll inhale to lower back down. And this time we'll exhale to bring the arms around the shins, rock a little bit from side to side. From here, keeping the hands on the fronts of the shins, maybe the backs of the thighs. We'll start to rock forward and back, coming all the way up to a seated position. Stacking shoulders right over hips, draw your shoulders down away from the ears. Sit up as tall as you possibly can. We'll take that shoulder mobilization once again. So arms extend straight out in front of you. Press out through the heels of the hands, shoulders draw back and down. Take a big inhale, press your shoulders back behind you. And then exhale to press the shoulders forwards. We'll do that again. Inhale to draw the shoulders back. Exhale, press the shoulders forwards. Inhale as you draw the shoulders back. And exhale to press the shoulders forwards. This time we'll take a big inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. As you exhale, fold forward over your crossed legs, reaching the arms straight out in front of you. Maybe you stay up on the fingertips here. Maybe you bend into the elbows, bringing the forearms down to the mat. Shake your head yes and no a couple of times, and then come back to stillness, letting the crown of your head hang straight down. Take one more deep breath, just like this. When you're ready, we'll inhale to start to slowly rise back up towards seated. Then as you exhale, we'll come into the top of our table pose. So stacking shoulders right over wrists, Hips are right over knees, drawing the shoulders back away from the ears. Low belly and low ribs really draw in. We'll take that same shoulder activation, those scapular push-ups, right here from our table pose. So as you inhale, press your chest down towards the ground, shoulder blades draw back behind you. Exhale, press the ground away, press your shoulders forward, press the spine up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale, drop the chest down, draw the shoulders back, keep the belly engaged. Exhale, press into the ground, press your spine up towards the ceiling, press the shoulders forwards. We'll inhale to lower the chest back down. And exhale, press the spine back up towards the ceiling, press the shoulders forwards. From here, we'll inhale, come back to the top of your table pose. We'll exhale to just shake out through the hips a little bit. We'll take a couple of traditional cat-cows here. So as you inhale, drop the belly down, gaze up towards the ceiling, draw your shoulders back. Exhale, draw the low belly in, round through the spine. Maybe you tent up onto the fingertips here. Inhale to drop the belly down, gazing up. And exhale, draw the low belly and low ribs in. One more time, we'll inhale to drop the belly down. And exhale to round through the spine. And this time, inhale as you come back to the top of your table pose. And we'll exhale to step the right foot back, and then the left, come to the top of your plank pose. Take a breath or two just like this. If you'd rather, you can do this from the knees as well. When you're ready, we'll take an inhale to press the chest down, drawing the shoulders back just like we did before. And then exhale, press the ground away, press the spine up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale to lower the chest down, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, press the ground away, draw the low belly in, press the spine up towards the ceiling. One more time, we'll inhale to drop the chest down. Exhale to press the chest back, press the spine up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale in the top of your plank pose. Then as you exhale, tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back, find a downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here in your down dog. Maybe you pedal out through the feet. Maybe you sway the hips from side to side. Maybe you shake your head yes and no. And then once you've found some stillness, think about really pressing down through your heels, even if they don't quite reach the mat. Drawing the shoulders back away from the ears, and drawing your low belly and low ribs in. Press the hips up and back, making your spine as long as you possibly can. Take one more deep breath just like this. When you're ready, we'll inhale, start to rise up onto tiptoes, gaze forwards. We'll exhale to slowly walk the feet up to meet the hands. Come to the top of your standing forward fold. Maybe your knees are bent here. Maybe the legs are straight. Feet can be hip width apart or in a little bit closer together. Maybe you grab for opposite elbows and sway a little from side to side. You could shake the head yes and no. And then when you're ready, come back to stillness. On your next exhale, let the palms hang back down towards the mat. We'll inhale, bring hands to shins, peek up halfway, draw your shoulder blades back as you lift. And exhale to fold back forwards. We'll inhale to slowly roll all the way up to standing. Shoulders, neck, and head are the very last things to lift. And exhale to draw the shoulders down the back away from the ears. Palms will face forward and fingers spread. Take a moment to look down at your feet. Make sure they're hip width apart or in close together. Think about drawing your kneecaps up towards your hip bones, engaging the quads, drawing your low belly and low ribs in. We'll draw the shoulders down, maybe softly closing the eyes. Take a breath or two just like this. Using each inhale to grow just a little bit taller. Each exhale to draw the shoulders just a little further away from the ears, pressing down through all four corners of each foot. From here, we'll take those scapular push-ups one more time. Take an inhale, extend the arms straight out in front of you, press out through the heels of the hands. As you exhale, press the hands away from you, press your shoulders forwards. We'll inhale to draw the shoulder blades back towards the wall behind you. Exhale to press the shoulders forwards one more time. We'll inhale to draw the shoulders back. Then exhale to drop the arms down. Big inhales, you sweep the arms up overhead, gaze up towards your fingers. From here, we'll exhale to fold forward over bent knees or straight legs. Take an inhale to bring hands to shins. We'll peek up about halfway. Exhale to plant the hands down. Step your left foot back towards the back short edge of your mat. We're going to come right down onto that back left knee. If this feels like a lot of pressure on the knee joint, you can always roll the mat over once and then start to bring the knee down onto that extra padding. So from here, think about bringing your right knee right over your right ankle. Left hip is more or less right over that left knee so that you're making two 90-degree angles with your legs here. Bring your hands to your hips and then work to really square your hips forwards. So your right hip draws back, left hip draws forward. Tuck your pelvis under as much as you can. So this is a little bit more exaggerated than our usual tuck. Really draw the low belly in, really draw the low ribs in. Take a couple of breaths just like this. Really pressing down through the top of your back left foot and the sole of that right foot to think about drawing that left knee forwards. Take one more deep breath just like this. When you're ready, we'll start to inch that right foot just a little further forwards here. Take a big inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Then as you exhale, maybe you press your hips forwards here. Hands could stay down at the hips, keeping them level to the mat as you press them forwards to feel that stretch through your left hip flexor. Take one more deep breath just like this. When you're ready, big inhale, arms come all the way back up overhead. Then as you exhale, plant the hands down around the right foot, tuck those back left toes under. From here, we'll inhale to rise to the top of a runner's lunge. Maybe you reach out through the top of your head, find a little bit of length. And then we'll exhale, start to bring the hands up onto that right thigh. Find some stability. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale to bring the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale as you start to bring that right hip back and left hip forwards once again. So hips are squaring towards the front short edge of the mat. If you'd like a little bit more here, you could start to bend into that back left knee and then find that same tuck. So exaggerating the tuck of the pelvis, drawing the low belly and low ribs in. Take one more deep breath just like this. One more big inhale. Then as you exhale, straighten out through that left leg. Bring the hands down around your right foot. From here, we'll inhale to step back to the top of your plank pose. And then exhale, send the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here in your down dog. Coming back to those long, deep inhales. Long, strong exhales. When you're ready, we'll inhale to rise back up onto tiptoes. And then exhale to slowly walk the feet up to meet the hands. Come back to that standing forward fold. We'll inhale, bring hands to shins, peek up halfway, draw the shoulders back. And exhale to fold back in. This time we'll just step the right foot back towards the back short edge. And then same thing, come down onto that right knee. You can fold the edge of the mat over to provide a little more padding for that right knee if you need to. And then from here, think about stacking left knee right over left ankle, right hip right over right knee. Bring your hands to your hips, and then think about squaring the hips forwards. So left hip draws back, right hip draws forward, exaggerating the tuck of the pelvis here. and really drawing the low belly and low ribs in. Pressing down with the sole of the left foot, drawing it in towards your body, pressing down with the top of your right foot, and drawing it in towards the body. Take one more deep breath just like this. And when you're ready, we'll start to inch those left toes out just a little bit further. Take a big inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. We'll exhale to press the hips forwards here. Maybe you bring the hands to the hips once again, keeping the pelvis level to the mat as you press the hips forward here, stretching through the front of your right hip flexor. Take another breath or two just like this. And when you're ready, we'll take a big inhale, bring the arms all the way back up overhead. We'll exhale to plant the hands down around that front left foot, tuck those back right toes under. When you're ready, we'll inhale to lift up through that back right knee, reach out through the top of your head, find some length here. And then as you exhale, start to bring the hands onto that left knee for a little bit of stability. On your next inhale, we'll sweep the arms all the way up overhead and exhale to draw the shoulders down away from the ears. So hips are squaring forward once again. Left hip draws back, right hip draws forward. If you'd like a little bit more here, maybe bending into that right knee and exaggerating the tuck of the pelvis once again. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Find one more big inhale. Then as you exhale, straighten out through that right knee as you plant the hands around the front left foot. We'll inhale to step the left foot back to meet the right. Find your plank pose. And then exhale, send your hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Again, take a couple of deep breaths here. Coming back to your long, deep inhales. Your long, strong exhales. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale to rise up to tiptoes and exhale to walk the feet up to your standing forward fold. Take a breath or two just like this. Maybe you grab for opposite elbows and sway a little bit here. Maybe you shake the head yes and no. And then eventually, on your next exhale, you'll let the hands fall back down towards the mat. We'll inhale to bring hands to shins, peek up halfway, draw the shoulder blades back, and exhale to fold back in. From here, we'll inhale to slowly roll all the way up to standing. Shoulders, neck, and head are the last things to lift. And exhale to come back to your Tadasana or mountain pose. We'll start to do a little bit of balancing here and activation of the hamstrings. So bring your hands to the hips at first, rocking forward into your toes and back into your heels a couple of times. And then when you're ready, we'll rock a little bit from the left side of the feet over to the right side of the feet, working to make sure all parts of the foot that are going to be touching the ground to help us balance have touched the floor. Bringing the feet about hip width apart, start to transfer most of your weight into the left foot. Start to bring your right toes to the floor. And then when you're ready, start to bring your right heel in as close to your right hip as you can. Really pulling the heel in towards the hip. Draw your low belly and low ribs in here. Maybe you start to reach that right hand down, hovering it outside that left heel. Maybe you start to grab onto that left heel and pull it in a little bit closer if you'd like to turn this into more of a quad stretch. We'll take one more deep breath just like this. One more big inhale. And exhale to let it go. Shake it out a little bit. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So maybe you rock forward into the big toes, back into the heels a couple of times. We'll rock from the left side to the right side a couple of times. And then really planting the feet down. Feet are about hip width apart. Start to bring most of your weight into your right foot. We'll start to bring the left toes to the floor. And then when you're ready, start to squeeze your left heel in towards your left hip. Squeezing it in as close as you can, really drawing in the low belly and low ribs here. Activating that right quad by drawing the kneecap up towards the hip. Maybe you start to reach that left hand back for the outside of that left ankle. If you'd like to turn this into more of a quad stretch, maybe you grab onto the front of that left ankle and pull the heel in closer to the butt. We'll take one more deep breath just like this. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll shake it out, let it go. From here, we'll take a big inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. And then as you exhale, heel toe your feet out to the wide edges of your mat. Find a forward fold over slightly wider legs. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Maybe you bend into one knee and then bend into the other. Maybe you continue to grab for opposite elbows and shake the head yes and no. Take a couple of breaths to do whatever feels good here. Then when you're ready, we'll inhale to peek up halfway, reach out through the top of your head. Turn the big toes out and the heels in. As you exhale, sink your hips down as far as is comfortable, coming into a malasana or garland pose. So elbows are inside of the knees here, pressing into the knees with the triceps, pressing the palms in towards each other. We'll hang out here for a couple of breaths, and I'll tell you what we're gonna do next with our crow pose. So you'll start to extend the arms straight out in front of you and just start to tip forwards at first. So as you start to bring more weight into your hands, you can maybe think about rising up onto the tiptoes, and this could be the extent of your crow pose today, and that is awesome. If you would like to work with a little bit more balance here, as you come up onto the fingertips, onto the hands, you can start to walk the toes in towards each other and think about bringing your knees in toward your armpits just a little bit more. From here, as you tip, you can think about lifting one set of toes and then lifting the other set of toes, or eventually you can make sort of a shelf with the triceps and start to lift one and then both sets of toes. As you're here, you can start to draw the knees in towards each other just a little bit more, activating the hip adductors. Take one more big inhale wherever you're at, and then exhale to set the feet down, sink the hips back down. We'll come back to our malasana. So from here, we'll reach the left arm out. Take a big inhale as you reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, draw that right shoulder blade back behind you. Take one more deep breath just like this. One more big inhale. And then exhale to bring the hands back to heart center. We'll extend the right arm out. Big inhale to reach the left arm high. Gaze up to left fingers. Take a couple of breaths here. One more big inhale to reach. Then exhale, bring your hands back to your heart. Take one more inhale here. See if you can find some more length through the spine. And then as you exhale, sink down onto your seat. We'll extend the legs out in front of us and bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Grab onto the shins. We'll take an inhale to press the chest forward. And then exhale to round through the spine, finding some seated cat-cows. We'll inhale to draw the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. And exhale, draw the low belly in, round through the spine. One more time, inhale as you press the chest forwards. Exhale as you round back in. From here, we'll inhale to rise back up onto the sits bones. As you exhale, we'll start to bring the hands to the backs of the thighs, drawing the shoulders back and finding as much length through your spine as you can. Take a breath here. If this feels okay, you could start to come up onto the tiptoes, rocking back just a little bit. If this still feels okay, maybe you lift one, maybe both sets of toes, drawing the inner thighs in towards each other. Maybe take an inhale to reach the arms straight out. And we'll exhale to lower down, extend the legs out in front of you if that feels okay, and then lower all the way down onto the back. From here, we'll start to plant the soles of the feet in underneath the knees. Heels are in pretty close to your hips and are about hip width apart. Arms are long beside you, palms plant, pressing down with the forearms, the palms of the hands and the big toe sides of the feet. We'll inhale to press the hips up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, draw the inner thighs in towards each other. Holding this back bend for a couple of breaths here. Maybe you clasp the hands underneath the sacrum, bumping up onto the outsides of the upper arms. And take one more deep breath just like this. See about lifting the hips just a little higher. And then exhale to lower all the way back down. From here, we'll draw the knees in towards the chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Rock a little bit from side to side. We'll take a big inhale to bring your arms out to a strong T, maybe that cactus or field goal. Palms face up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, start to let your knees fall over towards the left-hand side, taking a spinal twist. Maybe you turn your gaze over towards the right here, softly closing the eyes. You could extend that right foot straight out towards the left side of the room, flexing the toes in towards the body. And then maybe you grab onto that right leg at the thigh, maybe the calf, maybe the foot with that left hand, pressing the right heel down towards the front of the room for an added hamstring stretch. Take one more deep breath here. When you're ready, we'll inhale to turn your gaze back towards center, bring the knees back in towards center. And then exhale to wrap the arms around the shins, rock a little bit from side to side. We'll inhale to squeeze the forehead up towards the knees. And exhale to lower the head and shoulders back down. From here, big inhale, arms come back to that strong T or field goal, palms face up. We'll exhale to let the knees fall over towards the right. Maybe you turn your gaze over towards the left. Maybe you softly close the eyes. If you'd like to here, extending that left leg straight out towards the right side of the room, pressing out through your left heel. And then grabbing onto the left leg with the right hand, either at the thigh, maybe the calf, maybe the foot, and then pressing the left heel down towards the front of the room to get that added hamstring stretch. Take one more deep breath here. When you're ready, we'll inhale to bring the gaze, bring the knees all the way back up through center. We'll exhale to wrap the arms around the shins, squeeze the forehead up towards the knees. Inhale to come all the way back down. Bring your arms back out to that strong T or field goal. And we'll start to come in for a happy baby here. So start to bring the hands to the outsides of the feet, maybe to the big toes. Draw your knees in towards your armpits, soles of the feet work up towards the ceiling. Maybe you rock a little bit here from side to side. Maybe you extend one leg and then the other. Taking a few moments to find some movement before coming back to stillness. Pressing down through the entire length of your spine. Take one more big inhale just like this. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the knees back in towards each other, wrapping the arms around the shins one last time. From here, we'll start to extend the right foot towards the right corner of the mat, the left foot towards the left corner of the mat, toes turn out towards the wide edges, heels turn in towards each other, arms are long beside you, palms face up towards the ceiling. Adjust the hips and the shoulders as you need. We'll take one last deep breath all together here. Big inhale, fill all the way up to your collarbones. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth, let it go. Letting go of any intentional breath you're still holding on to. Letting go of any tension you're still holding in the muscles. Taking rest in your Savasana.